Yeah, can I get How you guys doing tonight? Good. I'm not gonna hate on the MCs, but I am a spoken word artist. My name is Elizabeth Agubota. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. I just want to talk with you, kind of tell you my story. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit, do some spoken word. So just to give you a little bit of background, this particular thing. Alright, cool. Y'all are there? Alright, cool. I taught kindergarten, so it's like, cool. Alright, cool. Y'all are with me. Alright, but this particular piece, I was laying on my bed. A friend asked my husband and I to write a song. And it started out, I'm more spoken word, so the Lord started to speak to me, gave me this idea coming from Isaiah 61, talking about us becoming oaks of righteousness. And kind of Isaiah 61 just talks about how God's heart for us, that we would go from being kind of these empty shells to being living, purposeful things, like plants are alive. And so, as I thought about this more, the Lord started just to remind me of my testimony, being about how I was kind of like dirt, and then God took that dirt and changed it into an oak tree. What really rocked my mind is I had a friend, he actually just came back from India. And India, if you know anything about India, it's one of the largest countries, but it's also one of the places with the largest child prostitution ring going on. So I'm talking with him. He said he went to India, he started talking with the ministry over there, and they were talking about the issues with child prostitution. And the ministry actually goes into these brothels, takes women, kind of brings them out of that, nurtures them, and takes them from kind of this sense of my life is worthless, I'm the living dead, I'm in a shell, and takes them from that to being like oak trees. They actually have kind of this picture of a tree, and each woman puts a leaf on the tree to symbolize that God has actually transformed their life and they're alive. So similarly, here's my story. I want to give you a little bit more context, so I'm going to read Isaiah 61, and then we're just going to go right into it. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to those who are bound, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn, to grant to those who mourn in Zion, to give them a beautiful headdress instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, the garment of praise instead of a fainted spirit, that they may be called oaks of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he may be glorified. He's a gentleman, and through many examples, he's shown that his love for you and me is ample. Here, take my life, let it be a sample. He's a gentleman. Who else can take dirt like me and with water, patiently soak it with his spirit, purposing persistently to make an oak? How? He's generous and fearless. He displays his heart to the one who sins, to be a witness of his never-ending compassion to me, like my husband. Hi, honey.
Hey.
Willing to go through the pain that every gardener will gain when he must wait, water, and hope, as he patiently prays and faithfully stays near his soil until he looks one day and sees an oak. He's a gentleman. Still don't believe? Listen to part 2. Here's how it reads. God loved me first and planted a seed. And now he's grown me into a tree shaped to love him, even when it means I must extend like arms my limbs and watch them bend and even break for someone else's sake. And as he patiently makes his appeal to them, because he's a gentleman, and with each broken limb, he says, I love you, I love you, I love you. And as I stand there as his witness, it's evidence I've grown, because before, I would have ran for the comforts of home. And that testimony alone makes me sing inside, because I know it's not pride. When the wind blows against my side, I can take it in strides. Because now I stand in humility, because he's changed me to be a living example of him, his witness, his tree. And now I'm learning to be gentle to all men, because to me, he's been a gentleman. All right. Love you guys.